Hello everyone and welcome to episode 8 of MRS TV. My name is Autria Godfrey, and while this may be our last episode, it is another one full of the latest from this year's first virtual MRS meeting, so stay tuned. For this final day of the live portion of the 2020 virtual MRS Spring and Fall meeting, we have a number of live technical symposia today, as well as a Symposium X talk at 10:15 a.m. Eastern on extreme wave interactions in metamaterials with broken symmetries. Remember that the virtual platform has a number of features to connect you to your fellow attendees and speakers. Just click on the People menu at the top of the platform to start making connections. And our live sessions conclude today with some of the following live symposium sessions. Now, let's jump right in and start our show today with an exclusive interview with meeting chair Prasad Shastri. Prasad, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
What role does material science have in combating the COVID-19 pandemic? And even though it is being held in the virtual space, how can meetings like this one help to find solutions?
I'm glad you asked the question because I think material science is dead center in not only in the science that involves the development of COVID vaccine, but also the delivery of it and the distribution. So if you think about the challenges that we face, we are looking to deliver, we are interested in making sure we have an effective vaccine. And there is this whole area of how do we store and ship the vaccine. I think many of our viewers may not be, or the MRS community may not be aware, but we have a COVID special symposium that we organized here in the MRS this year, is to highlight the challenges that one faces when you have to develop a therapeutic solution in a very short time. It involves many stakeholders and a diverse group of people. And a meeting like the MRS can play a very effective role in bringing this diverse community together. And what is important is to if you think about the two prominent vaccines that are out there, the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine and the Moderna vaccine, they're both what are called mRNA vaccines. So so the trick is to deliver this genetic material, which mRNA, into cells. And it's only possible because of biomaterials, because of material science. There are special polymers that have been designed. In fact, one of the people who has done a lot of pioneering work on this topic, Professor Daniel Anderson from MIT, he'll be giving the Symposium X talk later on. We're glad to have him give this talk. He and many others have developed very innovative ways to effectively deliver these molecules into cells so that the cells can process these molecules, the mRNA, and then express this protein called the spike protein, which is very characteristic of the COVID virus. And by tricking the cells to produce this, the body thinks that there is a virus and responds to it, and that's how the vaccine works. And if you did not have these polymers that were developed and the material science that went into it, you would not today be talking about the Pfizer or the Moderna vaccine. So I think that way I would say material science is very much critical to the COVID pandemic that we're facing in terms of making sure we come out of it relatively unscathed, and to make sure that future solutions that are developed, whether it be better PPE or a better delivery system, these all involve materials and primarily polymers and other technologies that are material science technologies. So you can see that material science uniquely is kind of the bridge that brings manufacturing fundamental like materials processing, synthesis with biology, and also with the delivery of healthcare.
And lastly, today is filled with a number of live sessions from the technical symposia. What are some of the topics that you are looking forward to hearing about?
Oh gosh, there are so many. I think the time difference is going to make it a little bit tricky for me because I'm 6 hours ahead. But I think there are several topics that I think, for example, I'm myself, my interests are in materials in the medical field, and of course, I'm very much looking forward to hearing all the talks in that space in regenerative medicine and drug delivery, which will bring me to the topic of COVID in a bit. But of course, there are also these new emerging topics of quantum computing, which will definitely revolutionize how we consume data and how we consume information and how we process information. We live in this big, we live in this era of what's called big data. There's so much data that's being gathered. We are hampered by how quickly we can analyze this data and how easily we can place this analysis at the fingertips of the consumers, like the doctors, the health givers, or it could be even something related to national security, and the data analysis is everywhere. So having better computational platforms and framework to do computation is going to be very, very critical. And there's there are a lot of in fact a plenary speaker whom I look forward to hearing his talk from IBM is very much involved in this area of quantum computing. So I think there are many talks, and I'm just going to go and kind of look around and see the ones that excite me. But there are like incredible programs that we put together.
Prasad, thank you so much for your time today. Let's wrap up our tour of organizations and universities that are making strides in material science research by going to the University of Texas and Wake Forest University.
The mission of the Department of Material Science and Engineering at the University of Texas, Dallas is to provide the necessary skills to our students to be successful, either in academia, industry, a small startup company or large companies, and also for any government-related jobs, national labs, etc. We have a very specific set of skills that we give our students. Specifically, we do microelectronics, nanoelectronics, energy, and sensors. We have a very strong team here also for simulation. The academic size of our department is about 100 people. We currently have 13 faculty, which gives us a ratio of about 5 students and 2 postdocs per faculty, which is pretty high for any department in the nation. We have been very successful in nanoelectronics in the recent years because of the support from our administration. So we have state-of-the-art facilities that we can share with other professors, with other departments, with other universities.
This includes the clean room for nanofabrication. We have electron beam lithography to make very small structures and devices. We also have a broad range of characterization tools. We also have surface characterization that includes XPX, X-ray photoemission spectroscopy, as well as the master lab, which is materials and surface technology resources. They have access to TACC, which is Texas Accelerated Computing Facilities, that has one of the top 5 supercomputers.
We provide the ecosystem for those students to work together so that they can help us develop our research while they'll develop their set of skills that will, again, make them successful in their professional career. We go all the way from thinking what will be good to make, to studying how we're going to make it that system, to enabling a new device.
Students from different groups work together, help each other. Their complementary expertise allow us to make scientific breakthroughs, and we have joint publications.
We have very successful faculty that work in industry, and now they are in academic positions. So we can link real-life problems with academic problems. We have projects that span from material science to electrical engineering to chemistry to physics, even with biology, even with art and science. Something that our department also is really good at is the collaboration and relation with industry, not only in the region here in the state, but also national. We have faculty that has collaboration with Texas Instruments, with the Semiconductor Research Corporation, with Applied Materials, with Corvo, with Raytheon, with AT&T. They become a natural sponsor for our research and a natural employers for our students. That's a good synergy to have. I don't think that there is any other department more industry-friendly than the Department of Material Science at UT Dallas.
Because of the top-level facilities, the students can compete with the world's best scientists. And when they come out of the program, they can go to the industry and they are trained on the tools that drive the industry today.
We have students coming from all over the world, from China, from India, from Europe, from South America, as well as locally from Texas. They come here because we offer a program that would help them achieve their career goals.
As a student, we get to collaborate with different industries and companies across the United States, which allow me to grow my professional network, which helped me land my first job.
My experience during my time in the department really helped me to get my job through developing connections with a lot of people in industry and in academics, which really let me feel like I had a choice of where I could go with my career.
I came to UT Dallas because they have a strong background in entrepreneurial research and developing things from the lab to the marketplace. I am developing a better way of making filtration membranes for face masks and respirators, and I'm using a novel biologically derived material. Here at UTD, I've been given the opportunity to pursue that unique line of research and develop it further as far as I can.
I think the greatest aspect here is, I would say, professionalism. Not only the faculty, but also the staff here is really experienced. I learned a lot from them, not only those in the textbook, but also something else. I think these helps me a lot.
My research area is on fully inorganic perovskites. One of the reasons why I feel University of Texas at Dallas is the best place to do that kind of research is because of the facilities and the state-of-the-art equipment where I can basically develop any material with the tools available to tailor my needs.
It's so collaborative. You have people from all different backgrounds, from material science to electrical engineering to chemistry to physics, and they all have different backgrounds that really works well when you're trying to collaborate and come up with new innovative ideas.
We strive to have diversity in our department because diversity brings different perspectives. It brings different points of view, and it brings different opinions. In our department, we do things that matter today and tomorrow. Right now, we're making things that will have an immediate impact in our life, in society. At the same time, we're making things that will have a delay impact in society that you may not feel it, but in 10 years from now, we will say, hey, that new cell phone that you have in your pocket, that's coming from research that we did 10 years ago.
I'm Hardik Pandey. I am a third-year grad student with the physics department at Wake Forest University.
I'm a fourth-year graduate student in the physics department.
I'm a second-year physics graduate student at Wake Forest University.
My name is Lada, and I'm the second-year graduate student.
I'm the third-year physics graduate student at Wake Forest University.
Wake Forest University, because of its small size, is a truly unique place for collegiality. People are trying to help each other, people are collaborating with each other, sharing equipment. And the physics department is one of the best examples of that collegiality.
The project I work on, the material was synthesized in the chemistry department. The characteristics were done in the engineering department and I model it. Plus our group works with UT Dallas people, Rutgers, and we have We are also working with theoreticians from University of Oslo in Norway.
Wake Forest invests in world-class research to further its Pro Humanitate mission.
Wake Forest, they have a supercomputer in downtown, so a compute cluster that I use every day.
We have invested in thematic centers such as the Center for Functional Materials, the Translational Science Center, the Center for Nanotechnology, the Center for Energy, Environment, and Sustainability.
In these centers we work on a wide array of materials such as organic electronics, solar cells, biomaterials, batteries, metal organic frameworks, thermoelectrics. These centers really operate on a level above the departments, and that allows us to break down these barriers between various fields. It also allows us to answer really big research questions that a single discipline may not be able to answer.
Nowadays, on the job market, certainly having the tools of working on a team are prized by both university environments as well as commercial entities.
One of the things that I'm really proud of is that a lot of the students who work in interdisciplinary research have to work to communicate their domain knowledge to other people outside of their discipline. They have to improve their communication skills. And this is a very highly marketable skill, regardless of which direction that they take their career.
Unlike some universities, Wake Forest University stresses both research and teaching. And part of teaching is mentorship.
I work with Dr. Timo Thornhauser.
My advisor, Dr. Carroll, was able to give me the opportunity to spend a summer at Los Alamos National Laboratory, where I worked on research that directly translated to what I do here.
I work with Professor Wana Jakascu, and she's an amazing person to work with.
These are relationships that are lifelong relationships. They are and they will be my students all their life.
Nothing is really more satisfying for us than to work closely with our students and to see them succeed.
We have a 96% graduation rate. Many of our groups have 4 to 10 publications per student by the time they graduate. Another very important outcome is also the placement of our students. We are able to place our students in great jobs.
Many of them have gone on to start companies with us, and that part of graduate school is exciting because you don't have to put your ideas on hold for 4 or 5 years. You can start them right here in our own graduate program.
There are so many things amazing about the department. There are endless possibilities.
It's exciting time for the field.
Come check us out, and we are sure you will like what you see. Become a member of the Wake Forest family.
We thank you so much for tuning in each day of the virtual meeting, and we hope that you've enjoyed the show and the MRS's first virtual meeting. That is it for us right now, but we look forward to seeing you next year.